Frontera Rock.
Amigos de Frontera Rock, estamos el día de hoy con una de las leyendas del rock internacional. Estoy hablando del señor Jeff Pilson, bajista de Dokken, fundador de Dokken, bajista de Foreigner, de Dio, de muchas bandas en las que ha participado y múltiples proyectos que ha tenido Jeff Pilson. Como les digo, uno de los grandes del rock internacional. Y el día de hoy está con nosotros en Frontera Rock. Jeff, thank you for being here. My name is Ricardo Klein. Thank you so much for joining us today. It's truly a pleasure to have you on Frontera Rock.
Well, thank you and hola.
How about your Spanish, Jeff?
Not very good.
Un poquito. That's okay, Jeff. In Frontera Rock, we always like to start going back to the beginning. When you look back at your childhood, what are your earliest memories of music being something important in your life? Was there a particular moment or experience when you realized that music wasn't just something that you enjoy, but something you wanted to dedicate your life to?
Yeah, I would say there was. My earliest memories are my mom was a singer in some big bands in the 1930s.
Okay.
She even made a record in 1938.
Wow.
But anyway, so she used to sing around the house, and I just remember how comforting her singing was for me.
Okay.
And listening to the music with her. But the event that does stick out was the Beatles' first appearance on Ed Sullivan, which was February 9th, 1964, very famous day. And that definitely turned my head. I mean, I had already my sister is 10 years older than I am, so
Okay.
she was a teenager enjoying, and her boyfriend, who has now been her husband for over 50 years, almost 60. He turned us on to the Beatles. I'm guessing it would have been late December of 63, early January of 64, because by the time they were on Ed Sullivan, I knew the songs really well. I was already a huge fan, and I used to go around singing them. And anyways, but seeing them on Ed Sullivan, just seeing the impact they had, that was the seed that got planted that made me want to do music. I'm absolutely convinced of it.
Wow, it's very interesting, Jeff, because I think most of the musician of your age, that was a huge impact for the Beatles, right?
Right. I'm not the only guy, for sure.
Yeah. That's for sure. As your journey evolved, you became much more than just a bassist or a bass player. You've been a songwriter, collaborator, and producer. How did those early influence help you shape your musician identity and the way you approach creating music today?
Yeah, I mean, my influences, like my first influence, of course, was the Beatles, a huge influence. And, the songwriting is such an important part of the Beatles. I mean, the bass playing, Paul McCartney's bass playing is incredible, no question about it. Although I probably didn't learn to appreciate it till a little bit after I started playing. Because when I started playing bass, I was influenced by guys like Jack Bruce and a lot of the 70s guys. And then I became very into prog rock. So I got it. Chris Squire from Yes was my absolute idol on bass. But because the Beatles were an early influence, I think songwriting became an important thing. And I recognized from a very early age that songwriting was important. And I worked on my songwriting as a kid. And I was in bands where we would do our own songs and all that kind of thing. Then as I got more into like the progressive rock thing,
okay,
I really, really got into composition, although I wouldn't say it was as much songwriting. And that would, I brought that to songwriting later. First, I got into these really long, incredible compositions and things that, music that was really getting progressive. Which was great for my musicality, taught me a lot about music.
Okay.
And then I kind of came back and, bands like Deep Purple and AC/DC, I kind of connected with them.
Okay.
So I think my musicality got shaped by the combination of all those things. And being a songwriter, eventually becoming a producer. I mean, I was always interested in recording. I mean, as a teenager, I used to record, I'd record something on one cassette machine and play it to the other, like a lot of guys did. And I taught myself all that stuff. And so I think I always wanted to be a producer. And certainly by the time I joined Dokken, I knew I wanted to be a producer. And I started really paying attention to the people that we got to work with. I mean, we worked with some amazing people. The Michael Wagners, the Neil Kernans, the Wynn Davises, the Jeff Workmans, the Tom Wormans, the Roy Thomas Bakers. I mean, we got to work with some incredible people, and I tried to learn as much as I could about production because I knew that's something I wanted to do.
That's great, and everything start with just the feeling to write and to feeling the music. I can notice the Beatles back there, and the John Lennon up to you.
Oh, yeah, there's John Lennon.
John Lennon, and you have the Beatles record right there.
Oh yeah, I do. You're right. Yeah, there's memorabilia and Beatles stuff all over the place in here.
Yeah, but it's totally accurate with what you say. So
yeah.
Jeff, you've been part of Foreigner for over more than 20 years. Carrying the legacy of the most iconic, one of the most iconic rock bands in history. With Foreign returning to Mexico last year, you've been here to perform in the Feria de San Marcos. What does it mean to you personally to keep that legacy alive on stage, especially in front of such a passionate Mexican audience?
Wow. Okay, that's a deep question, so I will answer deeply. First of all, my job in the band is, as quote unquote band leader. And when I say that I'm band leader, I use that very much tongue in cheek because everybody in the band is great. We don't need a band leader, but one guy has to sort of be in charge. So, anyways, but my job is to make sure that the legacy is kept alive because I did get to work with Mick Jones very closely, for several years.
Yeah.
I'm getting to know Lou Gramm even better, which is great. So I think I have a real good sense of where the Foreigner legacy needs to be going. I was also a Foreigner fan. So I have that perspective that Mick and Lou don't have, So I think I bring to the table the right qualifications to help carry the legacy forward. And I believe in it. I believe in Mick, and I believe in his vision, and I believe in the songwriting that Mick and Lou did. I mean, I just really am a fan and a believer, and so I am very dedicated to making sure that this legacy stays well intact, and that 50 years from now, people are still singing "Cold as Ice" and "I Want to Know What Love Is." So that's that. Now, as far as Mexico goes, I am just so excited because number one, we have a singer now who happens to have been born in Mexico. And so our connection with Mexico has become very, very, very deep. And when we were there not terribly long ago, I mean, the connection was just incredible. And you could just feel it. And it feels like the band has taken on a new dimension.
Okay.
And I love the passion that a Mexican audience has. I really respect and appreciate that. And so we got to feel it in a huge way. Luis went down there to do some promotion on his own after we did our I believe it was a South American tour. And boy, did he ever get a lot of great results from doing that. I mean, people really responded. I think a lot of people, I know that I saw newspaper articles where they were kind of referring to him as a hometown hero.
Yeah.
And that's amazing to me. I think that's really, really incredible. So his connection, and he's so proud of that. I mean, that's just something that it really makes him emotional, actually, because having that connection is really important. I mean, his dad was born in Mexico.
Yeah.
Actually, both his parents were. So, I mean, it's like really, really an amazing thing for him. It's so great that his dad got to experience that before he passed away. His mom is still experiencing it. So there's a lot of great, great things about Mexico for us now that have become much more deeper than just audience band. There's a synergy now that is very, very deep and very, very emotional and very powerful, and we feel it.
Yeah, and feels like a first time.
No, but there.
Yeah, but Well, it's gonna be awesome to have a foreigner again in Mexico, because it's like you say, it's one of the greatest you carry. So you're kind of a music director right now at Foreigner, or
Right.
something like that, right?
Yes. Musical director slash band leader. That's my
Yeah,
official title.
but like you say, Jeff, as a fan of Foreigner, you yourself, you have a perspective that we the fans have, right? And
Yes.
that's a make sure that your talent and the fan thing gonna be awesome to keep the Foreigner legacy alive. So thank you for
Well,
that.
thank you, because that's my job, and I really love my job.
Yeah, yeah, you have a dream job. So, Jeff, staying creatively active for so many years is not easy. At this stage of your career, what continues to motivate you to explore new music ideas and projects?
Well, I mean, number one, I love music. Music is very, very important to me, and music means a lot to me, and I just have a love for it. And when I'm making music, I feel complete. I feel like that's my mission on earth, or whatever you want to call it. That it just feels right.
Okay.
So, and I can't go very long without making music, or I go a little nutty. And I'm nutty enough to begin with. But you know, I love working with the people that I am able to work with. I mean, I get to work with the Black Swan people. I get to work with George Lynch and the M Machine, and Steve Brown, and Garish Pradhan, and Reb and Robin and Matt with Black Star. I love working with them. And then I love working with the Foreigner guys. I mean, and we have some ideas that we're starting to kick around that are, the creativity is starting to bubble up nicely. And so I think I'm inspired by the people I'm around a lot. I'm around a lot of great creative people. And being around that inspires me. And then just the fact that, I mean, if you leave me alone, I'll gravitate towards doing something musical anyways. I just love it.
So thank you, Jeff. That leads me to the next question. When you're working with this musician, with Robin, Rev, Matt, or did you say, of that level and experience, how does the creatively process usually flow? Is a Black Swan built more on a structure, or does it grow naturally from collaboration and instinct?
It's pretty much natural. I mean, generally we start with the music.
Okay.
And the music starts with, Reb will bring in several ideas that he's started on the guitar. And the thing about Reb is he loves the music we make. That is his wheelhouse. He loves it. So automatically we kind of have a Black Swan sound musically just because of where Reb comes from. And Reb brings so much of that to the table. Then he and I craft the songs, and then, Robin starts doing the lyrics, and what Robin does naturally, that's Black Swan. Lyrically and melodically, that's very much him. And, we work together on things, and, he and I will collaborate on certain lyric and melody parts, but the bulk of it is him. And he just has a great sound. He's I think, one of the best storytellers in rock. I mean, his lyrics and storytelling are just second to none. And the sound just kind of comes together naturally. We don't have to try to sound like Black Swan. It just kind of happens naturally.
Okay. So your upcoming album, Paralyze, which is will be your third release with the Black Swan, comes out next Friday, February 13th, through Frontiers Music. Marks another step forward to the band. How would you describe the sound and emotional direction of this record compared with the previous albums?
Well, I mean, a continuation, really. I mean, Again, like I say, we're not trying to, evolve and grow into, we want to let it naturally evolve. We're not trying to do anything. We're just trying to come up with, what we are trying to do is come up with the best songs possible. And all of us are very song conscious. So, again, there's a certain sound. The combination of Robin's voice and Reb's guitar playing immediately creates a sound right there. And then our collective songwriting and Matt and my rhythm section playing just kind of combine to make a sound that again, we don't have to try and make. It happens naturally. And so all we do is try and write the best songs we want to hear. We write what we want to hear.
Okay.
And that's our mission. Make something that we really love and we can really get behind. And I think this record is a continuation of that. And I think we've really found some very interesting, unique sounds on this record that are I wouldn't say a step forward as much as just broadening the palette that Black Swan has.
Okay. So the connection with the fans, gonna be great because they actually know what you're doing, and it's organic, like you say, it's very organic and grows like that. So there's some plans for touring to Black Swan, Jeff?
Well, we'd like that to happen. I mean, it's really tough touring with these bands because, I have a day job that is very, very full time. Robin has a lot of things going on. Reb has, Whitesnake is slow to pretty much not working at the moment, but Winger still has certain obligations, and Reb has his own solo stuff that he's doing now. So it's really hard to narrow down time for us to tour. So that's difficult, but there are some situations that we're trying to work on, hopefully for the end of this year. But I would never promise anything just because it's so difficult to pull together. But know that we would like to do it, and we're trying.
They're gonna be awesome if we can see you playing live.
Oh, the band live would be scary. Everybody sings in the band. We'd have really great background vocals.
Yeah. You're really kicking ass. So, so I hope you can make it to you can make a tour or a few presentations. Gonna be great. Jeff, let me take you to the present and a little bit in the future. After everything you've experienced in your career, how has your definition of success changed over the time, both musically and personally?
Well, personally, success used to be, I was very ambitious, and success meant, being a rock star and being rich and famous and all that kind of stuff. That was success to me. It's not like I got that famous, but I had enough fame to kind of understand what it was and to realize that in itself is not really anything to aspire to. I mean, if you want to be famous, okay, but it's not. It doesn't reward you like you think it does. Okay. It's and money is nice, but money doesn't buy you happiness. I mean, how many stories have to be told about that to really understand. So my personal definition of success has turned strictly to happiness, and that includes family. I mean, my wife and daughter are really important to me. Their happiness is really important to me. So happiness is really my goal now. I don't, I'm not trying to sell 1 million records anymore. I'd like to be comfortable financially, but I don't have to be a billionaire. So it really happiness on the personal level. Professionally, I'm continually motivated to try and write better and better songs. I would love it. For instance, if Foreigner could come up with one more record where we had some really great classic songs on there, and we wrote that classic song that's going to last a lifetime. If that could happen, and if I could be involved in that, that's a huge goal for me. But that's kind of it. That's where I'm sort of at, and I'm very happy with that.
At least all that you have is family, is the people that you love you, right? The money can go and goes by and see, that's the thing, and the band now, Foreigner, we're very much a family. Okay.
And that's really important, because if we're going to be out there touring as much as we do, 10 months a year sometimes, we've got to be family, and we are. And that's made it really important, because I've been in a band where it didn't exactly feel like family all the time. And
Okay. I know.
that's a miserable experience that I will never go through. I just won't put up with that again. So yeah, I mean, I really appreciate where I'm at. I really am grateful for the family situation that I have, both with my family and with my band. And I consider myself I'm very grateful. I'm very grateful. I'm fortunate to have what I have. And I just want to do the best job I can. I like to do good work. And it's very, very important to me to always be striving to do your best, because mediocrity to me doesn't make me happy. I want to strive to be the best, and I want to know in my heart I've tried my hardest.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that with us, Jeff. And it's very important, because the next question is about for younger musicians who may be listening and wondering if music can truly be a lifelong path. What advice would you share with them based on your own journey?
My advice would be is to follow your heart and listen to your instincts more than anything else. Try to expose yourself to as much as you can. Listen to what's going on musically, and let that seep in and make that part of your awareness. But first of all, don't use that as a way to guide what to do. Like, oh, well, that's hip right now, so I'm just going to do that. Don't do that. Use it to plant seeds in your subconscious, but use your heart as your guide, your instincts.
Okay.
Your instincts will not drive you wrong, because it's important at the end of the day that you be you, and you be the artist that you are, not somebody else's vision of you. And so my advice would be, listen to your heart, listen to your instincts, and then settle for nothing but 100% effort from yourself. Don't get lazy. Don't allow yourself to be lazy. Work hard. If you have to create some kind of a disciplined time thing for yourself, do it, because hard work pays off. Listening to your heart pays off.
Wow, that's a great message, Jeff, for the young musicians and everybody. I mean, try to do the best every day. Have some discipline at your work. Like you say, it pays. Hard work pays good. So, Jeff, thank you for this. I really appreciate it. I'm a huge fan of your work in every project. I'm a huge fan of Dokken. I'm a huge fan of Foreigner. So, so it's an honor to me. Thanks so much for sharing your time and this reflection with us. It's been an honor to have you this conversation, and we truly appreciate your open perspective. We wish you all the best with Black Swan, with Foreigner, and everything that lies ahead. Thank you for being part of Frontera Rock, and welcome every time that you want to share with us everything you want.
Well, thank you, man. I appreciate it, and great questions.
Thank you. If you have a message for the people of Monterrey that love you and love your work.
Well, hope to see you on May 2nd or 3rd that the festival is. Anyways, the festival that we're playing near Mexico City, I hope to see you there. It's going to be a great show. Thank you for all your support, and just keep listening to all the music that I'm making, and Foreigner and Black Swan and everybody else, and thank you for being there.
And remember, people, the Black Swan gonna be released next Friday, February 13th, in every platform, right, Jeff?
Yes. Get the record. We're very proud of that work. It's truly a great. If you love Black Swan, you're gonna love this record.
Gonna be some copies or something, Jeff? The record?
There should be CDs and vinyl. I think there's all that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because people now like to take this physical experience again.
I still think there's nothing like the physical experience. It's way better than just downloading it. But Do whatever you got to do. Thank you so much, man. Great questions.
Thank you, Jeff. Just let me say goodbye in Spanish for the people,
Sure.
and we
Of course.
Amigos de Frontera Rock, muchas gracias por habernos escuchado el día de hoy. Estuvo con nosotros Jeff Pilson, uno de los más grandes músicos del rock, del metal, del rock clásico. Estuvo aquí en Frontera Rock. Mi nombre es Ricardo Klein. Yo les agradezco mucho el habernos escuchado y visto el día de hoy. Nos vemos por acá y nos escuchamos el próximo lunes. Gracias, buenas noches.
Buenas noches.
Frontera Rock.